Well, this evening I'd like to thank you again for coming. I'd like to have two very important people to come up and speak briefly and share with you a bit of the vision of the University of the West Indies and the work that we do. I would like to have, as you know, the CEO of Golden Cross, Lower Hawthorne, please come up. I would also like to have come up and stand next to him because he will be speaking right after. The Vice Chancellor, E. Nigel Harris, please come up.
Thank you so much, Antonia, our Masters of Ceremonies. Thank you, Mr. Reverend Dennis Dillons, for your prayers. Without a vision, the people shall perish. And of course, vision without execution is nothing more than hallucination. So I'm so glad that we have been able to execute the vision here today. To the board members of this wonderful foundation, Cyrus, Bert, Wayne Seaton, and those who are not here this evening, friends and business associates, many of my colleagues and fraternity brothers in this organization, pleasant good evening. Let me say I am so honored that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening. It has been a rather wonderful and great day here at this fantastic country club. Words are inadequate for me to express the joy and the pride and the satisfaction that I do feel for being here this evening. When I speak, I'm not just speaking alone. I express the views of all our board members of this wonderful foundation. I'm sure that I serve this wonderful institution not because I don't have enough to do at Golden Cross. I serve this institution because it represents many of the things that I embrace as an individual, which is trying our utmost best to make a difference in the lives of our young people. I want to salute our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Nigel Harris, for his vision, his determination, his drive, and his discipline, and his passion for this great institution. We really appreciate your contribution. Had it not been for you and who you are, I don't think we would have achieved the success that we have enjoyed at the University of the West Indies. Let me salute, of course, Anne-Marie Grant, Gisela, my good friend Antonia. Antonia has made numerous phone calls, emails, text messages to get you all out here this evening. So Antonia, we couldn't have done it without you. And Brother Wayne, we really appreciate your contribution and what you have done for this institution. The tournament could not have come at a better time. Sports fever is in the air. Hot off the heels of the World Cup in Brazil, we just had the US Open tennis tournaments and of course the kickoff of the national football, which will lead into the mighty Super Bowl next February. The classic Amsphere Country Club is a perfect venue offering great challenge, great fairway, great tennis courts, great condition, and of course, great views. To say this is a genius idea is an understatement. Sport as we all know, unites. Sport brings people together. Our objective is using this event as a fundraiser is to bring people together to have fun, but at the same time raise awareness to the plight of young, bright men and women who are constrained by funding to further their education. This is the first of many fun initiatives. I believe that together we can become impactful. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to urge you to join us in this fight, to draw alongside as ambassador of change for the American Foundation of the University of the West Indies, and to give your best support. Tomorrow is a new day that many of you, including me, will face with challenges. However, we are resolved to do everything in our power to engender change and to make a difference in the lives of our young people. So join me as we seek to change lives in the Caribbean. May God bless you, and thank you again for coming.
Well, let me thank all of you for really sharing this particular evening. But I have to first, of course, thank Antonio, thank Lowell, thank Wayne, and a number of other people who have taken the time out to make this possible. When Antonio suggested this idea initially, people said it probably would be a long shot. How can you get sufficient numbers of people to come out to support an activity such as this? You know, when I drove through Westchester and I saw the lovely homes, the lovely golf course, lovely grounds here, everywhere, you know, you always ask yourself the question, why should people here who are doing well, you know, why worry about some institution that is, you know, hundreds of miles away, lost in some sea that, you know, you may or may not have visited, and if you do, you usually to hang out on a beach somewhere. You know, why worry with something like this? And I am glad that the people who have cared to worry and that you have come out today to say, look, this is something that is vitally important to us. It isn't about the Caribbean alone. This institution that has existed for 65 years, nearly 70 years now, is one that has made a difference to tens of thousands of lives. It has been one that has, without it, one could not imagine a Caribbean. They have produced more than a dozen prime ministers. It's produced physicians, scientists, Nobel Prize winners, intellectuals of all types, people who have not only stayed in the Caribbean, but have come to the USA and made a difference in this country. And I don't mean 10 came, I mean thousands of them have come over the years. And I think even as people of color, you know, we think of the great historically black institutions in America, but we right now are educating. At one time, we have more than 50,000 students. And I think there's no institution like that within America of color that in fact is managing to reach so many students. I think when you think of who has come out of that institution, where they've come and so on, I believe that for any institution, whether of color or not, this one has pride of place. And so one is not talking only of educating young people. What one is talking about is really producing graduates, producing the sort of human beings that are transforming one part of the world, and indeed that part of the world impacts in so many ways our part of the world. So when you drive through Westchester and so on, and you say, well, what is the connect? I believe that connect is a vital connect. It is a connect of people who are making a difference in a world that is so that is so even more and more integrated, more and more connected. A world that if one part of it falters, then all of us will falter. All of us will descend in some form of chaos. And so in that context, the University of the West Indies represents a very special place. It has done some very unique, very special things, and it's worth preserving, it's worth growing, it's worth the sort of time that so many of you have taken today to make the special contribution that you have. The aim that we seek for an event such as this and for the events is really to bring into our fold friends and advocates really from the USA. And as I said, we believe that those friends and advocates are as much a part of us here as they might have been living within the Caribbean. And we believe that we're bringing you in for a special cause, for really a transformative effort, one that will give young people, through the funds that one raises, talented young people, opportunities to do as generations before them have done, to really make something of themselves, to make that difference, the sort of difference that many of you have made in your own lives. So you're really, by being here, by doing some of what you're doing, as I said again, you're really building new generations of scholars, of thinkers, of doers, who are not only going to stay within the Caribbean, but are going to come to the U.S., are going to go to other parts of the world, are going to ensure greater stability in that part of the world, greater knowledge in that part of the world, that are ultimately going to contribute to a greater world. Let me thank you. Let me thank you all for coming out today. I know there is quite a long list of companies, individuals. I've named, of course, Lowell Hawthorne, Golden Crust, and Antonio Decimar has come out, and we know Wayne Seaton, but there are lists of contributors which I'm hopeful that we'll be able to read and thank this evening.
We'll make every attempt to.
Okay, so let me not go on and on. The University of West Indies is something I am very passionate about. I think there's every reason to be passionate about, and I'm hoping that that fire you will be able to capture too and become just as passionate as some of us in this room are. Again, thank you very much, Antonio. It was your idea, and in fact, you had Lowell buy into it, you had Wayne buy into it. I mean, we will be eternally grateful. I think this is going to make a real difference.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, the event makes a difference, but it's all of you that really did make the big difference. What I'd like to do is, because we have a very special guest here, and we talk about dreams, we talk about the future. We talk about golf, we talk about tennis. And in tennis, we see the Williams sisters who've been around for over a decade of dominance. In golf, we have seen Tiger Woods, and that's it. And one of the big factors that we do here, particularly in the West Indies, because you have so many prime courses around the world, is how do you take young talent and build that talent? How do you get behind that talent? And I think we're very fortunate today, because it's very seldom that a star comes down and you get to see it, touch it, and have a piece of it. But today we do have that. And so what I'd like to do quickly is I'd like to have Mr. Wayne Seaton, Jamaican-born. He's a partner at Park West Advisors. I'd like for him to come up and give a brief description of this special star that we have here, and would like to have her family also come up as we are giving you a description of her history, where she started, where she is, and where she will be going to. Mr. Seaton, please.
Thank you, Mr. Desamore. Kara Jade Cox is transitioning this fall into high school with great excitement. With the same exuberance, she tackles every hole in the golf course. This 14-year-old is like any other young teenager. She enjoys playing with her two sisters, she enjoys reading, and is passionate about English. That is where it ends. This golf phenomenon takes no prisoners on the golf course. I saw it firsthand, by the way. She gained her craving for golf from her father, a St. Vincent native, Keith Cox, entrepreneur and businessman. From an early age, she accompanied him to the golf course as he made business deals with clients. She soon became demanding to be part of the action, and by her 8th birthday, she was hooked. Her appetite for competition was insatiable. Keith, along with his wife, Dominican Republic native Jasmine, soon found themselves traveling from state to state, giving her more exposure and playing time. The culmination of her hard work was evident when in 2012, she became New York State's Junior PGA Youngest Player of the Year in its history. At the tender age of 11 years. Her exploits continue as she was just named this year's Westchester Metropolitan Junior PGA Player of the Year. She might have drawn inspiration from the tiger, but expect more from this lioness who is striving to be the Caribbean queen in her ever-expanding jungle. Now, we're honored, we're thrilled, we're really blessed to have you in our presence. Kara.
Hello, good evening. Today was an awesome day for golf. It was beautiful out there. The course was in awesome shape, and I'd like to thank Hampshire Country Club for allowing us to go out there today. I would like to thank the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies for allowing me to participate in such an awesome event. I've been playing golf for 6 years now, and I've learned to love the game, appreciate the game, and love the opportunities that I have playing it. I have to say that my golf career started in 2008 when I first participated in the Golfing for Kids, a charity event raising money for children with learning disabilities. This charity is very close to my heart because my younger sister Kaylee has autism and was in the program for a few years. Ever since then, I loved playing in charity events and helping others by playing the sport that I love. I also believe that education is very, very important for young people, and every student deserves the best resources to learn and develop. So for me to be participating in this event is an honor because I believe this organization is doing great things for students in the Caribbean. And I'd like to thank all of you very much.
Today, as I said, it's rare that you do get a chance to touch a star, see a star at eyes level. She has a picture of here, which is the first time. She's going to sign this, and we are going to auction this. And so I say this not, and I know I'm a financial advisor, but Tiger Woods' first picture, what is that worth? So think about that when you consider the value of what she's going to sign. Her family will take a picture with you, with the picture, and then we'll move forward with it. But I want to thank you all for coming here today with us.
Thank you so much.